How are you doing? I'm Graham. Welcome to the Mental Strength Podcast. This is Dave and this is our guest Ulrika who will be talking with us today, and we're going to talk about fitness training, health and depression and how to use to help her on her journey with fitness. Dave, can we go on?
Alright, well, Ulrika, welcome.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking this time out and coming and having a chat with us.
No problem.
I suppose we'll start off and you're going to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing right now, and we'll build on that.
Okay, I'm Ulrika, I'm 25, I'm a personal trainer.
You're a bodybuilder?
I'm a bodybuilder as well, professional bodybuilder with WFF.
Whereabouts are you based?
Dublin.
Dublin. Whereabouts in Dublin?
Coolock.
Coolock. Oh, very good. How long have you been personal trainer?
A year and a half.
Oh, very good. How are you finding that so far?
I love it.
Good.
I love just helping people. You know what I mean? They come to me with their goals and we smash them.
That's the most important part,
Yeah.
doing it for the right reasons, which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
Yeah.
What led you to?
I was out one day at a family's birthday party and I bumped into a gym owner, and he actually encouraged me to go and join the gym. But at this stage I was anorexic and very underweight, and I was thinking in my head, why would I join a gym? Like I'm going.
It's the last thing you want to hear.
Yeah.
It's like
I was like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with me. Like, why would I even bother going to a gym? Like, and then I just took up one day and I said, you know what, I'll just go and see what it's about. So I went in. I hadn't got a clue what I was doing, and I just seen a girl like with a six pack, and she was actually going in to compete in bodybuilding, and I was like, oh, I want that. So I just seen her six pack and just fell in love with it. And then I was speaking to another guy that was in the gym and he trained there for a while, and I was asking him, would he help me with the competition and warm up to it? So he was like, yeah, but you have to eat this and you have to eat that. And it took me a while. Like I couldn't just go and jump in and start eating. Like I was in the gym for like endless hours a day, like 6 hours, and just living off energy drinks, sugar-free energy drinks and stuff. And he was like, you're going to have to start eating because you want to build muscle, you have to grow, and that's what you have to do. So I was taking one step forward and 10 back every time that I could see myself putting on weight. Because if I couldn't get my hands around my thighs, like my fingers around my thigh, I knew that I'm after putting on weight.
Yeah.
So I'd always starve myself to go back again.
So your goals and your habits have been very much against each other.
Yeah.
In time. What in your head did you shift? Did you see that getting a six pack as a positive shift, or like say something I wanted to attain versus, the way you would have been with the anorexia, where your eating was you're afraid of eating? What kind of made you realize? What was the big thing that made you realize I need to start eating more? What was the biggest shift?
It was after like I was training all the time and I could see that there was a bit of definition coming on, but I was actually getting thinner, and I would only eat one meal, and that was at the end of the night. Like after the whole day without any food at all, just living off Diet Coke and energy drinks, and then I had one meal at the end of the night, and it just wasn't working,
How did you find your training was back then? It was probably very, very more tiring than uplifting in a sense. Like you were probably.
I actually started to see like little tiny results, like little striations on my shoulders and like a little bit of a bicep and a bit of an ab, and I was just like, oh, lovely, and I just kept going and going and going. And I remember the gym owner, he was like, you actually have to eat more. You have to eat. And I was just like, what, like Rice Krispies and all? He was like, no, stay away from them. So they were cut off then. And, it was just like, it was a vicious circle. It was just like...
You're fearful of food then for two reasons, rather than just, I'm afraid I'm eating the wrong food, rather than at the time you probably, any food would have been a benefit for your system. Like the lower the calories you are, any food that you can digest, and any eating is good eating. And the almost like the fearful nature of like, oh, this is bad, but you're probably at a stage where anything you would have eaten would have been of a massive benefit to your overall health, because at that stage it's calories in, calories out. Any excess is fantastic because your body will soak it up. So what would have been the initial things that would have kind of in yourself that with the anorexia? What would have been not the cause, but what would have been the steps that would have made you realise that you were, it is an eating disorder, or it is something that I have to be in massive control of my calorie intake? What was the kind of the things that might have brought you towards?
So where did the anorexia start, or how did it start?
Well, I left school, I think I was 15 or something when I left school, and it was just a big altercation that happened in the school. So I ended up deciding to leave school at 15. I was in third year or second year, so I had to go and get homeschooled for to do my junior certificate because I wouldn't leave the house so then after that I started working in the pound shop. I told them I was 16, but I actually wasn't. I was only 15, just to try and do something and get out there. It got really bad in there. That's when I started starving myself, you know.
Like bad in there, what were you, like,
Stressful.
felt like you were bullied in work and stuff like that kind of thing, is it? Or
No, not in work. I think it was the whole altercation with school and having to leave school. Like, and I had friends in school that, like, I just had to leave. And one day I was in school and I just didn't go back.
so you kind of felt alone, like, in a sense?
Yeah, so I started working up in the pound shop, and I had a boyfriend at the time, and each day I was just like cutting my food down more and more. Like, it got to a stage where I was counting the calories and it was like 500 calories, and I was like, well, I'll get lower the next day, I'll go 450. And they just kept dropping and dropping and dropping.
Did you find the food as something you could have absolute control over?
I had control of my food,
so
you know.
Was it more like you kind of lost control with school, and then all of a sudden it was like, what have I got? And it's like, well, I can start to take control of this food without you didn't really have a goal in the sense that every day was how many calories can I control.
But I didn't realise that at the time. It was only till my mum said, I think it's the anorexia is a whole thing of control. You know, that you can control your food and you couldn't control anything else.
Yeah.
So she thinks that it could have all stemmed off of that, but
Yeah.
I myself, I don't know, because
Yeah, well, like,
It's
when people have traumas and stuff like that, like, and especially when, like, if there is a breakdown in a relationship, like, you can't actually, like, it's something you can't fix because two people need to be involved to fix that.
Yeah.
So maybe by you controlling your eating and stuff like that, that's how you kind of,
With the trauma leaving
yeah,
school,
and managed that kind of, like, that kind of grief, that kind of loss, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So maybe that control was your way to kind of empower yourself, you know what I mean?
well, it got worse then after that.
Yeah.
Though, because with the job, they actually contacted my father to
Right.
say that, like, I don't even know how to say it, like, I was dangerous to work there because I was after getting so frail and fragile, like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
get
lost.
Yeah.
I would have been liable or something to them.
Yeah.
You know, so they started dropping me hours in work, and I couldn't understand why. And I think my dad ended up going up, and like, this only got told to me there, like, not even that long ago.
Did anyone confront you in work because did your relation to not anyone ever mentioned while you were in the state of dropping your calories? Did anyone commenting on it to you?
They were just wondering why I just had a diet 7-Up every day for a lunch break of 8 hours, like, and why I didn't eat anything.
Were you
or-
weak in work and stuff like that?
No, I was always a ball of energy. Like, I always had, I pulled energy from somewhere now, but that was only at the start of the anorexia. Then when I had to start going to see counsellors and stuff,
Yeah.
I went to see this girl. It was like for children at the time. I think it was the Matter for Children,
Right.
because I was obviously underage, so I couldn't go like to Beaumont or anything. So she used to weigh me, like do a weekly weigh-in each week. And I remember I used to put phones in my pockets to make me weight go up and
Yeah.
drink loads of water before I went into her. So my weight would always be going up on the
So you had
scales.
less pressure from
Yeah.
people around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if I got to a certain weight, that's when I would have had to go into hospital to get fed through a tube. So, because like my mum was like, you have to go and see somebody, because she's seen my weight just dropping drastically, like over a really short period of time, like.
Yeah, so it's it's you figure out ways of hiding everything from everyone. Like, so it's not as if you see a lot of nowadays. Or some people will try show off wherever, like, but it was hiding. Like, no,
Yeah, I was hiding under big baggy clothes, like, so nobody would notice.
no comment.
I'd have like 3 or 4 pairs of trousers when I was going to get weighed in, like, so I'd obviously be weighing extra. But then they sent me, I think it was to a hospital, and I didn't know what I was there for, because I was always going into the hospitals in and out, and I didn't know, and I didn't really care at the time either.
What did you find the people who were like were they nice to deal with, or who were trying to help you in the hospitals? Were they?
Well, the counsellor was, I went to 2 counsellors. First it was a male, and then I got sent to a female because I was obviously getting worse, like, so she sent me in, and I'd never forget it. The nurse came out and handed my mum a letter, and she handed it straight to me, and she said, open it and read it. And I opened it, and it said, I diagnosed Ulrika with anorexia nervosa. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, go on, take your time, it's alright.
There's no rush on any of this.
Yeah, absolutely. You just get your bearings and just relax.
It's very hard to talk about stuff like this.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
absolutely.
And then I looked at my mum, and she said, you have, baby, you have got it. And it didn't feel real, like, and I kept fighting it and fighting it, as if it wasn't true, like.
When you were diagnosed, what was the next step for you in your head? What clicked or changed versus you might have in the back of your head thought you had some sort of eating disorder, but when it was actually diagnosed, was there a big shift in your...
No, because I didn't think I had an eating disorder.
Yeah.
I was in denial, like.
I think with a lot of people in when it's confronted with them, they've been unaware in a sense. They think their habits are just I'm just doing this for my control, or they don't actually see it as the big thing it might be, or they might be unaware of that the simple steps they're doing are steps closer to being either anorexic or other eating disorders, or even with overeating. They just think this is how I'm surviving. They don't see it as not necessarily. People might on the outside you hear anorexia and it's a bad thing. Well, it might be just a coping mechanism with lifestyle. Until you're made aware of it, you might be completely oblivious. Like, you know, as you said, it was a shock in your system, and like people around you mightn't have seen it as a shock, but you personally, it's like you don't. It's not fully aware because you're just doing things you do in day to day to survive. It's not that you're purposely doing it to create, I want to be anorexic, or I need to eat like an anorexic. You're just, this is my day, this is how I live, this is how I eat. This, you mightn't give it a name, but you could be living in it, and people might be living in it for very long times and be unaware, and all of a sudden when it's named, it almost seems worse. Well, it's not worse that it's been named, because you're still in that state where you're not looking after yourself, or you're trying to, well, you are looking after yourself, you're trying to survive with your habits. Like, that's all we all are. People have bad habits because it's coping. You're trying to survive, whether it's with undereating, overeating, not sleeping, energy drinks, whatever it is, bad food, good food, drugs, narcotics, cigarettes, drink. But you don't see it until someone actually says, listen, you're drinking too much, Graham, you're doing this, you're doing that. So like the fact that someone told you was probably more of a shock to you than anyone else in the room. So like, it's not that it's obvious to you. Some people think that people walk around with depression and it's quite obvious that they're depressed, but some people just think that's how they have to feel. No, it's not that they're depression or sadness or anorexia. It's just they're not anorexic. It's just you're yourself. You're not anorexic. You're just surviving as Ulrika. You don't see yourself named as an anorexic. You probably just think that that's all I'm doing. I can't see it. Why are you calling me anorexic? I'm not. This is not what I'm doing. It still probably was very much because it was a shock. Yeah. It was like, as you seen even there, like the way it hit you when you said it again, you didn't think you were. No. It was completely a shock to you. So like, you know, people can walk around with 101 things in their head, and it might have a name on a piece of paper, but they might necessarily see it as this. It's just, I'm just trying to survive. Yeah. I'm just trying to get through today.
It's tough. Like a lot of people I work with, it's tough when they get given a label. Like, and that's exactly what that is. It's a label. Like, you know, it's like they believe, oh, I'm that. I am that. And that's it. You know what I mean? And some people, like, they don't want to be that. They want to be themselves. You know, but when they're called something else, you know what I mean? Like, to them, that's not normal. Like, you know.
Because their whole lifestyle they've been living for how many years has kept them alive. Like, you know, they don't know they mightn't be in the best state of health, but at the same time, in their head, they might be thinking, this is what's kept me alive. Yeah. Like, you know, these tools, like whether it's undereating, drugs, alcohol, like, you know, people are doing this, you know, people are saying, oh, you're doing that to kill yourself. It's probably the reason I don't do something bad is because I have control here. Like, you know, people use drink as an outlet, and it's as horrifying from the outside to see, oh, that lad's an alcoholic. And it was like, an alcoholic, he might have done something worse to himself. You know, it's not necessarily, it's always victimized. This label makes you feel like, oh, I've done something wrong, or it's like, that's the only thing I'm doing to survive. It's not, it doesn't make me a bad person. It's keeping me on here, it's keeping me going. I'm sorry if it offends you, or you see that the label makes it worse, but the label means nothing. Like, there's 101 people diagnosed with depression who spend their whole time trying to make everyone happy. And then there's other people who aren't diagnosed with depression and they're just miserable. Like, so the label in itself you know, it can hit you twice as hard than the actual illness, because you think that I'm not that, I'm not this is who I am. I'm Ulrika, I'm not anorexic. The name, the tag hasn't defined my entire personality. And some people, unfortunately, once to be diagnosed with something, they don't come through it. They label, like if someone says I have depression, all of a sudden they're wearing it like a cross their whole life, and it's very unfortunate, you know, whereby you, on the other hand, you took it and you move forward and you've actually ran with it, and you've used that tag to kind of distance yourself forward.
Like, in a sense, like, you have to hit rock bottom, in a sense. So the day you find out, like, yeah, that's what you have, you've anorexia nervosa. So that's you hitting rock bottom, and now it's time to kind of raise. You know, that's how you overcome these things. So, like, after you found out that, obviously you were devastated and all, but what was your next step? Like, what happened?
It actually got worse then. I got really bad depression.
Right.
I was on antidepressants then for quite a while, but because I wasn't eating, I used to just fall asleep. They used to knock me out, like, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I was on them for a long time. I was suicidal at one stage because I didn't know what to do. Like,
You just especially with some of the
I didn't know.
You weren't eating. The excessive sleep is almost one of the worst things in the world.
Yeah.
Because you're just going from being awake seems to be a punishment or something. Like, when you're awake, you just seem to suffer. So you'll go to your tablets because they just make it all black out. They make everything go quiet. And the worst thing about them is I've been on antidepressants as well, and they're addictive because they numb everything. And like the numbing might be grand in the short term, but ultimately it makes the monster bigger in the room. Like, you wake up days feeling worse and worse and worse, and you don't think there's an end to it. Like, no, unfortunately they have their place immediately. They can help you in the short term. But me personally speaking, I found them that they were just overwhelming in the end.
Yeah.
It was like, I need my tablets, where are my tablets? And then mixed with the painkillers that I needed, that I was given by my doctor, just made me a vegetable. So, like, you're not able to think straight, you're not able to focus straight. So it takes an awful lot to be able to step out of that. And like the fact that you have stepped out and moved, like, from what I think a million steps forward in relation to what you're doing now currently with your situation, with your training, it's crazy, like, to come that far from it. But it's what became the thing that made you leave, that get rid of the antidepressants or move forward or realise
I
yourself?
actually, because, like, I couldn't control myself, like, so I'd just fall asleep, like, just sitting here, like, I could just fall asleep, like, and I wouldn't even feel tired. It just knocked me out, like, and I was like, that's not normal. Like, I'd be driving my car sometime and I'd be just gone, like, so I just said, I'm going off them, like, and my mum was like, you have to wean yourself off them. I was like, no, cold turkey, don't want them. Just didn't take them anymore, like.
How did you find that?
I was still so depressed. I was always crying, but my body was starved of nutrition. I wouldn't eat, like.
Yeah.
You know, you need to eat for your brain, like, just for your brain to function.
Think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, at this point, like with anorexia nervosa itself, like you get people that, like, they do different things. Like, they either don't sleep, they don't eat together, like, they don't eat or sleep, like, they're afraid or something. But like, were you exercising excessively or acting like that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Or you just didn't do anything, you just weren't eating?
No, I just wasn't eating. I didn't exercise, nothing. Back then, like, I was 15 when this all happened, like.
Yeah.
You know, so exercise would have never been something I'd even think of doing.
You had no energy to stay awake.
Yeah, I was too lazy to exercise. Like,
It wasn't even lazy, it's just you had nothing in you.
Yeah, you had no energy to do
all the
that.
motivation in the world is, like, myself and Dave trained for strongman, all the motivation is great in the world, but even on an empty stomach for a few days, for a few hours, yourself, you can take it away, never mind long-term starvation. So the fact that, like, if you were, be more surprised if you wanted to train than not, like, so it's a big thing when people think that, like, oh, you know, it's a matter of flicking the switch and wanting to go train, and like, God, I wish it was that simple. Like, you know, that's people, if they're suffering with depression or anorexia or that, like, you know, exercise is a cure, but there's a few steps in between to actually get the energy, because, like, there's nothing worse than going to try do something and be utterly defeated at the first step by lack of energy. It's like, you know, the people think it's like, you know, no one wakes up in the morning, jump up happy and motivated to suddenly transform their entire life. And anyone who says that probably wasn't that sad in the first place, or probably wasn't that tired or that sick. For me, like, you know, when I went back in, I fell down about 5 or 6 times before I stood back up, and, you know, people need to understand that, like, exercise, there's many steps before your exercise that you with anorexia to exercise took a lot of steps. So what was the kind of the first step you probably said moving forward in a positive sense in relation to the relationship between exercise and anorexia? What was the first thing you done to start?
Before I kind of kick into that, so you went off your meds. How long were you taking the medication for?
I'd say maybe it was 2 years.
Right.
I'm not too
so
sure.
how old would you have been about then? Would you be nearly 18, you're saying?
Yeah, about 17.
About 17, 18. And then, like, so you went cold turkey on the meds, so where did you go from there, like?
I didn't take the meds anymore, like I just kept working.
Yeah, and,
you know?
and you didn't, you still weren't eating and stuff like that?
No, I was eating very little, you know, because my mum would always be like, you had nothing to eat today, or, you know, and I'd try and lie, and,
So when did you decide, like, I need to make a change, I need to start going to the gym, or when did you decide to start going to the gym?
When that gym owner was speaking to me and told me to go, and I was just like, why would I need to go? And I just said, you know what, I'll just see what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
Because my sister was really big into the gym at this time. Well, before that, that's kind of how, like, one of the parts of the anorexia started off.
Yeah.
Because she was overly training.
Yeah.
And she lost loads of weight, and my mum was like, she's actually starting to get sick now. But she was training from a bad relationship. I was going out with her one of the nights, this was before I went anorexic, and my mum texted her, did you see the size of her legs? And that was something else that triggered out in my head about my legs. And then I started eating like breadsticks. That's when I started cutting the calories down, you know. But it was just like little comments, like I know my mum definitely didn't mean for like me to be hurt by that. She tried to make my sister cop on, like, you're gotten too skinny. She's in your jeans and they're tight on her. Like, Ulrika was always skinnier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I picked it up the wrong way. Bam.
Yeah, I get you.
You know,
Yeah.
she hit the van.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started going to the gym and stuff like that. What was your diet like actually day to day before? Like what would like so when you were a kid, like, and you first picked this up, what were you eating on, like, or obviously there'd be days where you wouldn't eat anything at all, is there?
Yeah.
And then, like, if you did have a meal, what would you eat?
About, like, there's these little things back then called Melba toast. So it's like basically a cracker.
Oh yeah.
So I'd have like 3 of them.
Oh yeah. I know them. They're kind of like a dried kind of toast bread or
Yeah,
something.
they're like fucking rotten.
Yeah,
rotten.
yeah.
Anything to survive.
Yeah.
I'd have like 3 of them because there was 19 calories in them. So that's what I'd have. Like,
wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. See, 57 calories a day. Like, it's mad. Like.
yeah, like, because I just started cutting, and then I got to a stage where I started thinking, like, is there calories in toothpaste and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I just got very nervous then, like, but I never Googled anything because Google wasn't about that then. It wasn't that popular that you'd Google everything, like.
Yeah.
But again, it's even in the community with anorexia, it's almost, there's the less information almost the better, because you see there's some things where over certain hashtags are used for, like, among the anorexic community to pass messages like, bro, what's bad, what's good not to eat, or what's a secret way of starving, how to avoid it. So almost a lesson you back then, and you didn't realise you were just yourself dealing with it, because obviously sometimes these communities can be very, very negative in a sense. More you don't realise there's a whole negative support community versus, like, how can you get better at being anorexic. So you're almost lucky in the sense that you less information, you knew better. So it's all, and at the same time you said you didn't know you were anorexic.
No.
You didn't, it wasn't like that.
And I was in denial because I'm so stubborn. I was like, do you know what I mean? And then my mum was crying and she was like, yeah.
Some people be out there might have, again, it's hidden. So, like, they might have an eating habit that they don't realise is, maybe this is unhealthy. You know, some people,
or maybe everything just tastes nice.
Yeah. It just tastes nice. But even with that, like, it's, some people are like, you know, how do I lose weight? You've got people who, like, can be massively overweight, and all of a sudden they get a taste for fasting. I can fast for 24 hours. How long can I fast for without people noticing or going dizzy? And, like, people can go from very heavy to extreme fasting, extreme. And this can be a step towards, again, it's all eating. It's like fasting is grand for 24 hours or a little cut up, but some people think, how long can I go without food? And then with the energy drinks everywhere, people live on thin air and energy drinks, and someone might actually be in a state where, like, crap, I haven't eaten properly in the last 3 or 4 days, but I'm losing weight, and they don't realise that they're living on thin air. People might be developing eating disorders without even, we don't know. People are like, this is a really good habit, I've lost 10 pounds this week, this feels fantastic. I'm losing weight whereby they're not up to the fact that they feel like absolute crap. They have like, you know, no diet whereby you don't eat food. It's good for you. Even if it's a liquid diet, it's probably not the best either. Like, you know, so people can be just existing and don't realise that it's an eating disorder. I might just think it's a little trick they found. It's a real idea. I don't want to eat for 3 days and then eat for 1 day and I'll do this, like, and then hiding it from everyone. Like, you know, how would you feel? Oh, it's great, it's grand. But I don't think people realise how it's like an eating disorder can be many different shapes and forms. Not just living on 50 calories a day. It might be living on 1,000 calories a day. Like, you know, there's some people that would, like me, and they were on 1,000 calories a day would be very miserable very quickly, and that's, you know, it's 57. 1,000 might sound like a lot to some people, but even 1,000 could be very, very low for an awful lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, where we, so yeah, when did the gym kind of come in? When did you start deciding to train?
After I spoke to that owner, the gym owner, and I just went in. And I went in and I was training for stupid hours and just drinking energy drinks and stuff to get me through.
And you were still battling with the anorexia then as well?
What type of stuff were you doing in the gym?
I went into the gym, I think I was 36 kilos going into the gym. So everybody looked at me anyway and they're like, what is she doing here basically?
Yeah.
You know, but they never look like she's here to better herself. They're like...
Did anyone give you a hand in it?
Ah yeah, you had a few people, you know, like trying to help me out and stuff, but... Sometimes
they can almost feel like they're putting their nose in where it's on you. People might mean have the best intentions in the world, but people when you're body conscious and you're obsessed over everything, you might be thinking like, is it a negative environment or it's doing it for a negative thing or a positive thing? So it's even like approaching someone. It's a very, very difficult thing to do. Even working in industries where you see someone in the gym that might have an eating disorder, it's like approaching someone to try and help them is a bomb. You don't just walk up, hey, you need to look like you need to eat. Like, that's probably the worst thing you can say to someone. So, you know, it's very hard to even approach someone. So the fact if you had a few positive people around you, you were probably very, very lucky.
Yeah, I was,
Be an awful lot of the wrong thing said to you at the wrong time can be an absolute time.
Oh, well, there was a few, like, you need a stew injection and all this stuff. But, you know what I mean?
They're just idiots, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't listen to that. I wouldn't take any heed of that. Like.
No.
Yeah. So, like, you were training and stuff like that, like, and but you weren't eating. Like, how was your body feeling then?
Oh, well, I think it was more adrenaline that got me through it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'd see myself, like, getting a bit of muscle and I was happy with that. And then when I seen the girl with the six-pack, I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
So I approached a guy in the gym that he trained there, like, 3 times a day. Like, he was just an animal for training. So I asked him, would he help me prep for the competition coming up? And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he's like, you have to eat this. I was like, I don't think I can. And he's like, just try it, and I'll trust me, you won't get fat. So that took an awful lot to put me trust in him, like.
Yeah.
But he helped me now big time. So he helped me for the first competition, and I'll never forget when I got off the stage and I didn't place top 6. I was devastated. Now, in fairness, he never coached anybody for a show before.
But the fact he was a positive influence and got you.
Yeah. I'll forever thank him for that, you know.
Like, I've even said, one of the reasons, like, I was talking to Graham about this podcast and stuff like that, and we were saying, like even to get someone to get onto a stage and compete, anyone to go and do to do a strongman competition or a powerlifting competition, and even if you go and come last, like, it's just like the achievement of actually going and stepping onto a stage, stepping onto a platform or doing a competition, whatever. It's just it is phenomenal, like, you know what I mean? Because you'll get a lot of lads in the gym and they'll do this and they'll be the biggest guy there and the strongest guy there and stuff like that. But they've never actually gone and proved it to anyone.
Lost and got beaten. Bloody their nose, like, you know.
Absolutely,
That's the hardest. Like, it's I prepped for a competition myself and I fell short. And anyone who I thought I wasn't good. I thought I was doing well, but there's an extra level in a person needed to be able to finish it out, follow it through, get on stage and stand up in front of your peers and be judged. Like, that takes great strength. Like, that alone is, never mind lifting 300 kilos in the gym. It's stepping on stage in front of that to be judged at the highest level by some of the harshest critics. Like, never mind your place, you stood there. And, like, obviously, like, you know, the fact that you've taken a good few steps forward since, you probably had the strength and character to affect this. I'm going to go back and do it again.
I didn't. When I got off the stage, I never forget it, I roared crying. And the guy that helped me, like, prep me for it, He was like, you'll be fine, you can go again. I was like, no, I'm never competing ever again.
Yeah.
And I said that, like, no, I'm not doing it. He was like, just go for it. I was like, no, that's it, it's done now. So he persuaded me into going for it, to go and compete in the next one. So
That was 2 weeks later, was it?
No, it was in the April.
Right, so it was a spring show.
Yeah, because the first one I done was the 20th of September 2015.
Then Nabbit or?
Fightex Extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
It was through RIBBF.
Yeah.
So then the one after that then was Spring Classics in April. And he was like, I'm telling you, I'll get you top 6. So we trained real hard then for that one. And I placed top 6. And
your food was probably significantly more when you were training.
Yeah, well, I was training with him 3 times a day then.
When did you realise that the food, like, I need this food, like this is...
After the first competition.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
Did you like? See, you would have hated food and stuff like that. So was there ever a point? Did you like eating? Did you get used to eating, like, in a sense? Because like I know, like, some people, like, they do be competing and stuff like that, and it's just like, yeah, like, oh, I love this time of year, like, I can eat, like, and you know what I mean. But you wouldn't have you wouldn't have been eating a lot anyway.
No,
but
so it
taking
killed
in
me.
the more. Oh, so you didn't. You didn't enjoy eating the more calories.
No, it killed me. My stomach was like, I felt like my stomach was going to explode.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
And he was
so
like,
your stomach
just-
could have been so small.
Yeah, because it all shrunk in, like, and he was just like, eat what you can. So
Yeah. So, like, yeah, that's another thing there. Just you have to get me interested in. So, like, your stomach would have been a lot smaller and stuff like that. So, like, how many meals a day were you getting, and, like, what kind of size? Like, so would you have a breakfast?
yeah, I'd have a breakfast. I can't remember what I was. Protein pancakes for me breakfast.
So protein pancakes. Yeah, it's not too bad.
You
Like, I
know,
suppose.
but like I could only eat like a half one at the start because it was.
And would it be like this size or?
Yeah, it'd be pretty small, like,
Yeah,
you know.
and
So
you'd eat half of that.
yeah,
Right. So then, like, kind of many meals a day were you having?
4.
4. So then, what would your next meal be?
It was veg. I never forget it because I was like, I can't eat veg, I'm gonna get sick. Like, and he was like, you just have to. So there was veg and a little bit of rice.
Yeah.
And then the next one was
No chicken or anything.
no.
You don't eat meat, do you?
I did, but not now. But
Right.
like, I think he had me on chicken for the last one.
It's very strange, isn't it? To do, like,
Yeah,
no meat for bodybuilding is kind of.
yeah. I'm a pescatarian,
Yeah.
basically.
You're meat eater.
No, but even when, like, you were prepping that time, like, if you were having veg, you were eating meat at that point, right?
No.
Oh, you weren't eating meat
No.
then. All right then. All right. So go on. So you were having
So
a bit
I-
of veg and
A bit of veg, a bit of rice,
So no protein there at all. Like.
about half a tin of tuna or a quarter of a tin.
Oh, with that.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Then.
wouldn't-
So there's your protein.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have it a lot, you
Yeah.
know. So he was just trying to, like, let me warm up into it.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
because this
you-
was in September, so he was like, right, you'd be starting your cut then in January, February for your show in April. So I was like,
Yeah.
right. So, like, we just worked up little bits each week. He was like, okay,
And
up
did
by
you
a
find
few.
you were able to eat more and more?
I know, I struggled.
Did you?
Yeah. I struggled. I felt like I was going to get sick after every meal, and then I could see myself putting on a bit of weight. He was like, please, just trust me. I was like, right. He's like, I'll get you there, I promise. So,
You're very lucky that you had someone that you could trust in.
Yeah.
because,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's a very harsh game competing. I've had a lot of friends who competed, and you know, some guys who are prepping can be extraordinarily harsh, even because, again, with the words you use. So, like, one of the things, the one word, one phrase
Yeah.
can sit in your head for your entire life. So someone says you look a bit fat today, that one thing could sit on you forever.
Well,
but
he
you-
would have never said
But
anything
see, you were
like
lucky.
that,
You were
know?
very lucky because, like,
Yeah.
it's the delicate use of words, especially in my industry. You know, you need to know someone inside out and back to front before you use any words. Like
Yeah,
the word calling
absolutely.
someone fat is probably one of the most insulting things you can do to a person. They've come, like, you know, so, like, even if you're not, even in a joking order, like, oh, geez, you a bit of weight on you today, that could be detrimental for the rest of the process.
Yeah.
They could sit in their head for 2 years that time you called me fat. So the fact that someone who was caring enough was, you were blessed in the sense that, like,
Yeah.
someone to look after you, it's hugely important. And again, it's you were lucky you asked for help from the right person.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, that
Because I actually asked somebody else, and he sent me on to him. He was like, he's great, go over to him, ask him. And I was like, right. So I was like, like, if it's too much, it's grand, like, I just want you to help. He's like, yeah, no problem. But I was like, just please don't make me fat. That was my only worry, like, please.
Yeah.
But I was looking at him and he was shredded. all the time, like
Yeah.
trains 3 hours a day. I was like, he knows what he's doing, so I'll trust him, like.
Yeah.
And it took an awful lot, like.
But he obviously had great patience as well, because it's easy to have, when you're feeding anyone to get stronger, to change, to add muscle. It's easy when they want to eat.
Yeah.
It's impossible when they don't want to eat. Like, you know, when the bodybuilder's dream is get their calories up.
Yeah.
It's not to get them taken away. So like the fact is, most prep coaches like they love an athlete that could starve themselves, because that way you see with some coaches that they just starve the girls on the stage.
Yeah.
Like when you were lucky, you had someone who says, "No, let's eat." It'd be a dream to some coaches. They barely eat. Great, let's starve you on the stage. Like, and whereby this guy realistically was like, "You need to eat to feed to grow." You're very, very lucky in that sense. So he minded you. Like that's.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't just prep you. He got you there safely, and he allowed you to step forward. Like, you know, it's that in itself is, some people just like, you know, they give you an exercise and want to kill you with it, and then they give you no calories and want to starve you with it. But you found someone that was like, let's look at this in a bigger picture. Let's get you eating, like, you know, adding food to, like, and even you had the common sense to say, right, I'll fight this out, I'll stick this through. There's so many people that start it and they just 3 or 4, this is crap, this is hard, I don't want to. So the strength alone to be able to go against all your intuition, all what you've lived and learned with, that's crazy.
I think it was after the first competition where I was so disheartened and everybody was like making a joke of me, like, because I didn't come anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this.
Like,
I'm
is
not
this
gonna do
everyone in the
wrong,
gym?
like,
Everyone in the gym, like?
yeah. Like, not even everybody in the gym, like, even like people on Facebook, on social media or everything, like, you know, they're like,
people,
oh,
people who do nothing
all
want to
the
get out you for
grudges,
doing
yeah.
something. Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
So I said, you know
it's,
what?
it's good as well that like a lot of people will fall at that, like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. But the fact that you strength of character to say, actually, feck is all, like, I'll
I'm
show
gonna
you.
prove you wrong. It's because
Yeah.
I'm too stubborn. I'm just like, I have to do this now, you know.
It can be a very useful, powerful tool for yourself. Like, a lot of people say that's feeding into negative emotion, but if it allows you to become stronger, it's not particularly negative. They're the negative ones. You're the one whose self-belief is quite high. So to prove the doubters wrong isn't a negative thing. It's a very positive thing. It's like self-belief is huge. Like to get that sort of quality and mindset is, a lot of people need that in life. Like, to be able to say, like, actually, feck is all. I am well capable of doing this. I'm not, like, I lost, so what? Like, I'm not done yet. I've still plenty of time to come back. And that kind of mindset shows it's great energy. Like, it's very hard to have.
But I wasn't going to though.
But you did though.
Because
you might have hemmed and hawed,
yeah.
but like, you still stepped up.
Yeah.
Like, it might have taken you a few weeks, but some people never come back. Some people will do one thing, be beaten, and disappear off the face of the earth for the rest of their life. It's, you know, the one-hit wonders. But the fact is that it might have took you a few weeks, but it only took you a few weeks. Some people who lived their whole life with regret, not stepping back on stage, or not stepping back up to the competition, or not recovering from a defeat. Like, you know, like Liverpool fans, they never give up.
I think you're Liverpool.
I am, yeah.
There you go, that's yours.
There you go, yeah.
There you go.
She has that
This year,
mentality.
that year, that's it.
That mentality is built
Explains
into you.
everything now.
So like, you said then you done the next competition and you came 6th.
Yeah, I placed top
Right.
6.
So how did you feel about doing that? Did you feel you achieved something then?
But I was in shock, and I'd never forget. He popped his head behind the curtain. I was like, "I'm top 6, what?" Like, and he was like, "I knew it." So when I got called out, I didn't know the results then. Like, they only called out top 3, but I actually placed 6th.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I think that was about 10 in my category.
Yeah.
But I was delighted with that. I was 7% body fat for that one, and I said I want to get down to 6% body fat for my next one.
Wow.
So the next one I had with them was nationals, and I ended up in hospital 4 weeks before my show. Body fat dropped too low, sodium was too low. I kept fainting, getting dizzy spells, nearly crashed the car. I was like, right. So into hospital, I went on a drip, and I just seen sodium on it. I was like, no, I'm not allowed any salt, because I was so
it's all changed now.
It's all changed now.
Yeah,
Salt, everything's salt now.
so stuck into plan. Like, I was like, no, I'm not allowed salt and all. And my mum's like, you have to get the drip. So I'm sitting there with the drip in, and they put one in, and then the next bag in. I was like, are they winding me up? Like, but
I had a friend compete, and he ended up trying to make weight, and he ended up in hospital on a drip, quite sick as well. He ended up doing the show somehow, because he's crazy and intense.
Yeah, I done it as well. Came over, I was fucking raging.
Really?
Raging, yeah.
Well, so like after that then, what was kind of next for you then? Where did you go bodybuilding wise?
I took a year out then.
Yeah.
Took time to grow.
And what way did you grow? Actually, yeah. So you went to grow. So you trying to eat more. Were you eating more? Were you?
Yeah, well,
what weight were you actually?
I was 40. On the first show where I placed top 6, I was 50 kilo.
Right.
But then I qualified for another show in Italia Mello
Right.
in August.
Yeah.
So I was trying to stay leanish for that one.
Yeah.
And then I was speaking to a judge off RIBBF and he said, no, I wouldn't do that one. So I ended up pulling out of that one. And then I just had my head down for nationals that October. But I stayed that lean for the whole thing. So I lost muscle and I was 46 kilo at 6% body fat. So I was like, oh no, like I lost 4 kilo of muscle basically, like. So then
muscle
I was
is very hard fought for as well.
Yeah, so I was devastated over that. So I said, right, I'll take a year out. So I took a year out and then I done NABA and I was 52 kilo getting on stage then. So I put on 6 kilo in the year. 52 kilo, I think I was...
I'm good weight, like muscle, like...
Yeah, I was 8% or 9% body fat.
Yeah.
I placed second, qualified for Europeans then.
How was your food then? You're probably a lot more, were you?
Oh, through the roof, like literally through the roof.
And what was your kind of day-to-day diet like? Just
clean food, like I'd never go off plan, like Christmas Day, I don't have a Christmas Day dinner.
right.
I'm on my plan like all year round, no matter what day it is, like you know, I'd never go off the plan now, like
right.
Because it works.
And you think like you don't go off the plan because like you're afraid like you'll put on like that kind of shitty weight that you had, or that you'll like if you sat there and you ate like a couple of bars out of a selection box,
I wouldn't let myself.
load of potatoes, a load of stuffing and stuff like that, but like would you in your head go, oh no way, I'm gonna get really fat, and would you afraid it trigger the whole anorexia coming back?
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't let myself eat certain kind of foods.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'd love to go out and be able to eat a chocolate muffin, but I can't because I'm not allowed.
Right.
That will always be in my head. The anorexia lives with you.
Yeah.
People recover from it, but that little fucker's always in the back of your head, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not allowed to eat this, you're not allowed to eat that.
Like the way you're going now, it's happier and it's healthier.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
it's like people say, well, I don't think you should have done bodybuilding because it's one addiction to another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you're alive and you're thriving now.
Yeah, I love it. Like,
yeah, well, that's
I love throwing weights around.
Everyone will like to tell you like, no, this is the best way of doing this best way of doing that. But you look at it from the sense that like, I feel 1,000 times better. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy. I'm not hiding anything I do. So like, you know, whether people like to scream and shout, that's one addiction to another, but you're happy and you're healthy, which is like, you know, that's a lot of people aren't. And generally people calling the names and, oh, that's a crap, that's bad. They're probably not very happy in themselves as well. So the fact you have a lot more control, which is like, you know, that's a fantastic thing. So I'm not allowed to eat this. And it's like, well, good, it's going to take away from my goals. My goals are bigger than this short-term satisfaction.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of my biggest failings is I can't say no to the fork, like, end the story. I won't lie about it. But at the same time, the fact that you can do that because you're thinking further down the line rather than, you know, delayed gratification is a huge thing in people's success. So that is a very powerful tool. Like some of the greatest athletes in the world, they live by that. Like, you know, that's their delayed gratification. They're not concerned about a meal here or there. They're concerned about the bigger picture. And the normal folk might think that's missing a meal or not eating Christmas dinner is a bit extreme. But it's only a Christmas dinner. It's not the end of the absolute world. You know, if your whole life is based on having a Christmas dinner, you probably need to have bigger goals. You know, that's a good thing that control allows you to focus on pushing forward. Whereby some people just see that as pure negativity. It's like that's, you know, everyone has their goal. Like some people don't eat meat because they're vegans and that's their belief. Fantastic, absolutely. You know, like I am a fecker for skitting them, but at the same time, they're not taking any of my meat. So like the fact that I'm happy with what's on my plate, they're not. They should be happy with their plate. The other people get upset that you're not having your Christmas dinner. So what? Mind your own business.
Yeah, mind your own business. I'm even, not you.
Yeah,
what
exactly
you
that.
Yeah.
But see, when you learn to not listen to those people as well, that gives you an awful lot of peace as well. Because some people will be like, you're almost doing it to please everyone else. Like the fact that you're in control for yourself is huge. Like you're doing it for you at the end of the day. Because the rest of the people, they like to comment, but they don't genuinely care.
Yeah.
You know, like the people who are closest, you know that you're in a much better state of affairs now, and you're much happier and healthier and pushing at higher levels of fitness and health that most people will never achieve, even after coming through anorexia. Like, you know, the other side of it, which is it's very easy if you're fit and healthy and young your entire life to be able to do a bodybuilding show after not having issues with muscle mass or been training healthily your whole life. If you've come from a much lower ebb whereby food is the enemy, gaining size is the enemy, the fact you are where you are now, it's far more difficult to do than just, you know, I go to the gym a few times a week and I'm happy and healthy. Like that's all in good. Fantastic if a person's there, but if you've beaten a monster that's quite vicious. And anyone I've been involved with in training and fitness with anorexia, it's a massive battle for any weight. Like if you add a kilo onto someone over the course of a year, that's a winner. But the fact that you've purposely and positively focused on building, it's it's a much bigger achievement than people actually realise. Bodybuilding is probably the exact thing you needed.
Yeah.
It's the thing you needed. Obviously, it saved you.
Yeah, I'm 22 kilos up from when I started. Like.
Yeah.
That's crazy, that is.
Yeah, it's like.
There's most lads in the 78 kilo categories you probably give advice on how to grow muscle then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's the fact that you've grown good, solid, healthy muscle is like that's the only people appreciate that. Like people think they gain weight, it gains weight overnight. To gain good muscle is hard fought for. So like it's not just a matter of showing up, it's a matter of breaking yourself down a lot and then eating, going against everything you've taught yourself, which is it's just great. Takes great difficulty, great admiration.
Absolutely. So you qualified for Europe, and where was that?
In Germany.
That's in Germany. When was that?
In June this year.
This June of this year.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was 2 weeks before that, while I was still prepping, I got nominated for Best Personal Trainer.
Yeah.
So I won that. I couldn't believe I won that. Then I was on such a buzz. So then I was actually that lethargic and just wrecked from prepping for this whole show. So I was going over to Germany with the attitude like, I don't even care anymore.
Right.
You know, because my back was so sore and I knew that I had to just get through it, like,
Survive.
every day training and going around, walking around like a cripple. I was like, you know what, fuck it, just get on the stage and do your thing. So I went on the stage, won my category and won my pro card.
Right.
Big news.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So
Absolutely.
I was
So
like,
you'll be
what?
European champion here.
Yeah. But that was my goal when I started, like, I'll be anorexia when I win a first place, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I won the second in October, I was like, right, that's a warm up. And then I wasn't going to do Germany, and then my mum surprised me with it, so I was like, here we go.
And you went off and you won.
And I won it, yeah.
Yeah,
For
wow.
the Pro League then.
And
I was like, shit.
yeah, so you got your pro card now.
Got my Pro card,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then that's kind of after bringing us to this point now, isn't it? Really, you haven't done any other types of competitions.
No, I'm going to
Up till
have one
now.
now next June, my first pro competition.
Right. What's that one gonna be?
In London,
Oh,
WFF as well.
right, very
I
good.
can't compete with anybody else now,
Yeah.
they're my
Yeah.
federation now.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah.
So as you're working with as a trainer yourself now, I'd say you've probably get insight and empathy towards people who need a change, like, because a lot of trainers can be very condescending, but the fact you've actually walked a very hard road probably makes you far more human than a lot of people. Like, some people might see the snapshot of your. This is quite good for you as well, because people see the snapshot of you, and people see snapshots of people in particular situations. They might think, sure, they've always been in shape, or they've never had to struggle. That girl's always been lean. But the fact that you've walked a very hard road, you're probably better suited to be a trainer than 90% of people, because you can
I haven't
empathise.
just read about it, I've been there.
Yeah, that's it. And that, like, a lick of experience beats 10 years of study.
Absolutely.
You know, because like you can talk to people on a human level. You realise that some people don't like this food, some people have, and the people who are overweight, who've lost weight, have this ultimate fear of taking in everything again. You can tell them, like, you know, eating more is quite good to gain some muscle and get stronger and be fitter and get, like, you got in the shape you're in by eating more and doing more. So you can explain to people on a far more human level than just don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, which people don't appreciate that. People don't want it. People have spent enough time feeling crap. They don't want someone to give out to them about what they're doing. Like you have with your trainer, he gave you positive feedback to help you, and now you can give that, which makes you far more appealing as a trainer to the general population.
Yeah. He's the one that actually told me to go in for the personal training course, like.
Yeah.
It's designed, it suits some people. Like when you have empathy towards others, it's probably the best job in the world, because you get the feedback and the feel rather than just waiting to cash in a check, which is when you love what you do every single day, and because you know what it's given you, you're like, this thing it saved my life, which is that's at the end of the day. People can be down in the bush, but it has given you everything back, and you're still so young, so you can fly with this industry, and you can fly in your career with your bodybuilding as well. So like, you've come through a lot in a short period of time, whereby people who are in industry for 20 years and have done nothing, and haven't suffered a day in their lives. And suffering is a valuable lesson for a lot of people. People think the fact they suffer with depression and anxiety makes them weak. It makes them strong. Some of the strongest, craziest people I know.
Strongest, craziest, you got that one.
But in a good sense, like, they're not fearless. They're fearless. Like, if someone puts an obstacle in front of them, they're like, oh, I came over worse. I've beaten worse. Like, you know, the idea of stepping on stage might be someone's ultimate, terrifies them. For you, probably doesn't affect you anymore. Like, you know, your biggest goal, your biggest fear was you've wrestled with it, the anorexia. So like, the fact is, and you've come a long way. So like, being broken a little bit in the middle of your life is probably very useful too, and it's getting very strong now.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think there's anything in front of you in your training wise or your diet wise that you'd actually be afraid of. And you hear grown men crying about their calories being cut. I'm guilty of it. this little, where's the rest of it? That's wheel one. But the fact you've managed that is great. Like and it makes you more to actually talk to people about food as well.
Yeah.
From your clients who need help with food, you can empathise with not wanting to eat more. Like the fear with women trying to eat a little bit more food when you're like, I don't eat rice, this is bad. Well, it's like, you're not going to be able to train hard, you're not going to grow muscle if you don't have this fish or this meat or this food or this veg. Like, so the fact that you can, listen darling, this is what I done, this is what helped me, it needs to help you as well. That will make you far more relatable for women and men in training, because there's a big community out there that is just terrified of the gym. The people are scared of it, like, you know, this is, someone's going to give out to me, or someone's going to point the finger at me, someone's going to laugh, like, because there's a lot of gyms where people
are intimidated to go into a gym. Like,
absolutely,
you know what I mean? Or like, even if I'm in a gym, like, men come over and they'd be like, I'm on that. No, you're not, I was here first, like, get up.
Yeah, that's the big
and then I get
bully
told I have an
mentality.
attitude. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't have an attitude, I'm just standing my ground, we're both have the same right to be here.
Fact,
You know what I mean? Just because you're a man, you think you're more dominant? Get the ball.
Yeah, that's funny, because you're in the strongman gyms, the men will probably leave you to it. You can put more weight on that, you're going, come on.
Yeah, look away, that's the way it is. So, like, so we're kind of, at the moment, you're just kind of prep for London.
Yeah, it's going to put on a bit more size though.
Yeah. So like, how is the anorexia now? Like, how are you feeling like today? Like is it still, like, obviously anorexia is one of these mental problems that, like, it never goes away. It will never go away. It'll always be there. Yeah. It's always been there. So, like, how do you feel, like, you know what I mean? How do you feel today, like, you know?
Well, a bit fluffy, and I don't like that now.
What do you mean fluffy? Like you feel full and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you, yeah.
So, like, if I'm not shredded, I haven't got a six-pack,
right,
I haven't got striations in my shoulders, that's it, I'm feeling a bit fluffy, and
yeah,
you know what I mean, I have to either do a bit more cardio or cut back on a bit of the field.
right, and that's what you'll do. So
yeah, that's what I do.
So you kind of put yourself back into suffering, like, just to
look shredded.
Yeah, I get you.
But it will make me happier. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
At the same time, you do it probably far more logical and smarter than you're educated in what to do. Like, so in regards, you have to eat better foods, make better choices, and train a little harder, which probably most people could stand to use that.
Or like cut down on like the kilo of protein you eat a day. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
So,
there's that. I'm sure there's going to be, there'll be a personal trainer, bodybuilders, anyone that will probably look at this and go, wow, she's just not eating and she's doing more cardio and blah blah. She's gonna burn away in muscle and stuff. But at the end of the day, like.
Did they know my body like I do?
Yeah, to be quite honest, like you just said, like, you've won a European Championship. You know what I mean? So and there you go, like, you know.
And the critics are quite harsh in those federations.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
You don't win it on because you're friends with someone. Unfortunately, they're the harshest critics in the world. So obviously, you know better than 99% of.
Some of the federations I heard are a bit. Politics plays a big part of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know,
that's very true.
But at the end of the day, you're not going to, if you're not in the ultimate condition, you know, your best friend in the world won't get you there, like, you know.
No, so that's true. Yeah.
Well, I was outside of the European, the show in Germany, and I seen this girl come out, and she had big, massive legs, and I looked at my friend and I said, "Oh my God, the size of her legs! I wonder what category she's in." I said, "You know what? I'll ask her. What category are you in? Bikini short? You what?" She was in my category. Yeah. "What category are you in?" She said. I said, "Bikini short, your legs a little small." She says to me, "The bleeding neck, yeah." Well,
that's a category being too big. It doesn't kind of pay a benefit for, does it?
No, but that's what they look for in bikinis, like the big legs, the big bum. Do you know what I mean? The little skinny waist.
Yeah.
Well, her legs were bigger than mine. She had great legs.
She probably looked out of proportion in a sense, did she?
Yeah.
You better.
Yeah, well, you beat her, so obviously.
Well, I beat her, you know.
Yeah, where did she place?
She came second.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go, like, yeah.
So I beat her, and.
Yeah. So she had something to say about you, and she was wrong.
Bad karma.
Yeah, bad karma is right. Yeah.
Smack it in the
she shouldn't be judging.
No.
So, like, who would have been, like, your biggest inspirations, like to get into while in bodybuilding? Anybody you looked up to and said, like, "Oh, I'd really like to be like that person. I'd really like to look like that person."
Dana Lynn Bailey.
Right.
Did you ever hear of her?
Oh,
Some shoulders.
I've watched the bit of her stuff. I have. Yeah, I've watched a bit of her stuff
She's
before.
a strength trainer as well.
Yeah, she does. She done a bit of powerlifting and stuff like that, hasn't she? Yeah.
She's unreal.
I've watched a bit of her stuff. Like I've followed her boyfriend, is it her husband? Rob Bailey. Yeah. She is a serious competitor.
She's on unreal shape.
Yeah.
And then when I went over to Germany, I met this other girl. She's WFF Federation as well.
Right.
Mandy Allen.
Okay.
And she's unreal shape as well.
Right.
Like the standard for them like figure competitions in WFF is unreal.
Really?
Yeah, like different level altogether.
So is Mandy in your category?
No, she's not. She's in the one above me.
Okay.
So it's like nearly bodybuilding for women.
Okay, so you're in bikini, is it?
A bikini, yeah.
Yeah. And what's the next stage up?
Tone figure.
Oh, okay. And is it only bikini you want to do, or is there anything else?
My goal was at the start when I started the gym, I was like, okay, so I want to win bikini, and then I want to go up, and then I want to go up, and then I want to go up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to become a proper bodybuilder, like.
Yeah.
You know, but.
You're young. You've plenty of time.
But you can only do so much of that without taking anything.
Yeah.
And I won't take anything.
So that's
you know what I mean?
The limiting factor.
Yeah. Like I could take things to help me, but no, I'd feel like I cheated.
Yeah, that's a very good way to think about it. Like,
and then if they're giving me a trophy now, you can take that back.
Yeah.
Because I didn't win that. You know what I mean? That's the way I'd feel.
I get you.
Yeah, well, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it's good you said that, because probably the health implications could be a little lot worse if you're going on X, Y, and Z for
oh yeah, sure. I had a dodgy heart over the anorexia anyway, so stay away from that. Like.
The last thing you need is that to give you a little buzz that you don't need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else we can kind of cover, or anything else we want to talk about, or anything while we're here? Like, no, not really. Yeah, I think we've kind of covered everything. Like, you know. Well, thanks for coming.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Lovely to hear your story.
It's been great. Yeah, it's been a truly amazing story, and
waffling the ears off this.
Well, not really. No,
but people need to hear what
people
absolutely.
Have been through.
It might seem like nothing to you, but it might inspire a lot of people to push on, or people to ask for help. That's the whole goal, is to be people of stories. Like, it's people want to hear people have been through things. They've got coming out the other side of it in a healthier state of mind and a happier state of mind, with focus and control, rather than feel like they're standing on the edge of a cliff with nowhere to go.
Exactly.
It's like even like someone might reach out to you and ask for help and says, I want to start training, just to be around you and see how you go on a day-to-day basis, maybe to get a bit of training, because like it's more than training for a lot of people. You're coming in to help people. They might be thinking, you might think, they're coming to do a personal training session, but they might listen to your stories and see inspiration to move forward and to beat whatever food issues they have, whatever sadness they have. So you can be you can be an anchor for people, but people build their strength from you. I think that's what people don't realise, is that someone asking for help off you might end up saving their life.
Yeah, that's why I became a personal trainer, was to help people with this illness.
And if it reaches out to certain people, and if one person gets benefit from it, that's exactly what we want. Or someone might take a step to go, I need to get some help from someone, or to contact you. Who did you go to? Who helped me? Who will help you? Can you help me? And that alone makes it all worthwhile. Because a lot of people suffer in silence. Like it's not the people screaming on the internet who are sad. It's the people who are saying nothing. And just watching this silently and might be, actually, I think I need a bit of help. I think I need to approach Ulrika. She'll help me with this.
Well, bodybuilding, in fairness, that saved my life. Like, if I didn't do bodybuilding, I'd be dead now. Like,
that's exactly.
So just.
It's the most important thing in your world. Then,
that was the outlet you chose, and it's
like
to
that's
work on for you.
life now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's a good way to be. Like, people might see it as an extreme end, but like the extreme is being gone. That's far more extreme. It's like, so some people like, why do you do this sport or why do you do that sport? It's like, it saved me. That's probably the strongest reason you do it. And why is it easy to diet hard? Why is it easy to train hard? Because it kept me alive. It's like, it's not hard. There's far harder options. You're in the harder option, taking antidepressants, sitting at home by yourself. It's not sleeping. Like, this is easy. This is fun. This is enjoyable. Like, as hard as it is to suffer, you suffer through a hell of a lot more. So.
You have muscle now to protect your organs. You know what I mean?
That's it. So, do you feel proud in yourself of where you come from? Because, like, to be quite honest, like, the journey you've gone from, what weight were you? What was your lowest weight?
4.5 stone.
4.5 stone, right? So what's that in kilos? Going to be
4.5 stone, that's what?
14, 7,
20, 30 kilos, 34 kilos? Less.
Yeah, right, so, and then, what you weigh now?
58.
Well, like, that's just an amazing, like, it's just an amazing, like, you said they're 22 kilos heavier than what you were.
When I joined the gym.
Yeah. That's just crazy, like, and it's a serious achievement for someone to go with such an illness like that, to manage it, and to get to a stage in bodybuilding where now you're a European champion, and you're going to go on and you're going to progress and do more and more. Like, so, like, I hope you're proud of yourself, because, like,
well,
you've really
there's
done
always that little step to go forward. You know what I mean?
But still,
you never be satisfied.
Well, maybe you never be, but still, what you've done, had a serious achievement. Like, you know, not many people would be able to do that. Like, you know, I just hope somebody does see this and does pick up something from you. Like, and even if it's not anorexia, and it's maybe they have depression, maybe they're anxious about doing stuff. You know, maybe they might pick up something, or maybe they might get motivated from your story. You know, and hopefully
make their own little story.
Yeah, because that's kind of what we're looking to do. Like, you know. So thanks very much anyway for coming onto the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so thanks for everyone who watched. Just if you could like and share us on Facebook, it's the Mental Strength Podcast, and you can now listen to us on a couple of major podcast platforms with the likes of Spotify, Google Podcast, Podbeam, and a couple of others. Still waiting on Apple iTunes to accept us, but I think that'll happen. I just think we have to wait for that process to come through, and we'll be up on YouTube. So if we're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel there, and you can find it on the Mental Strength Podcast again.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks very much. Bye bye.